What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of AOS Trash Pandas. I'm your host, as usual, Rob, and with me, as usual, is my co-host, Carson. How's it going,
It's
Carson?
me, Charleston Whitaker. That's me.
That's you. Wait, why does it say on the bottom? Is that a typo on your screen?
Yeah, Google messes up my name every time. It's just ignore it. It's fine.
That's true.
Carlson White Guy is my name.
Whitehead.
Yes.
Is it Carlston Chew, or is it...
No, that's my brother.
Oh, you have different last names. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. Yeah, our parents decided to do this funny thing where they just gave us different last names and
Nice.
and also abandoned us. It was really funny. Yeah.
That is the joke that keeps on giving. I like it.
Yeah.
So, did you see this week's rumor engine?
I am seeing it right now for the first time, actually. I just had a chance to look at it on stream. That's definitely AOS. Like
I think so, right? Are you being...
Yeah.
Okay, you're not being sarcastic.
No, I'm not being sarcastic.
Okay.
That's
Because, like, I could see it in 40K. Like, it's just a metal basket of skulls. Like, sure. I could see it on the back of, like, some kind of weird 40K Chaos Dreadnought or something. But I have an idea, but I want you to go first.
yeah, so there's a couple clues here, I think. Number one is that some of the skulls are like distorted at the bottom, which seems kind of weird. If you look at like their eye sockets, they're not all uniform. And then the other clue is that you can see something kind of like grasping at the cage on the top left. Like you see some claws there, like reaching around the thing.
Oh, is that what that is? Oh, I think you're
so.
right.
It's either that or it's like two very uniform looking like cables or ropes or something tied around it.
Yeah.
And then since that's the case, I want to say maybe Flesh Eater Quartz.
Ooh.
Like an interesting little
You had me at fleshy
terrain on a base kind of thing, or
yeah. Okay, so my idea was different. I didn't notice the hand, obviously. But my original idea was it's like an ogre hero on like a smaller like cavalry kind of thing, and either like on his back or like maybe a new slaughter master, right? And then like that's the basket of skulls that he puts in, like it's like a waste paper basket for skulls after he like slops the meat into the stew or something like that. So like, yeah.
I could see that. The only thing that makes me think that it's not ogres is that also I think this is the first time that you've said it was ogres and I disagreed with you.
I think it happened once before with an old rumor engine, like when we first started.
Gotcha.
Anyway, it doesn't matter, but yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, what I was saying was I think that there's two things that make me think it's not ogres. Or rather it's one thing that relates to another thing. And it's that if you look at the cage, it's like actually quite clean. It doesn't have like rust. It doesn't have like any sort of sign of decay whatsoever. And I think that if it was ogres, like most of the time when you see an ogre contraption, it's either like just stupid or like stolen from someone else. And if it's stolen from someone else, then chances are it's all like rusty and it's all whatever, right? So
that's true.
Yeah.
You're probably right. It looks kind of too beefy to be like I also thought about Cruel Boys or something like that, but the cage, yeah, the style of it doesn't, and obviously I don't know my ogre like aesthetic, whatever, but not lore, but you know what I mean? Like I don't know the aesthetic super well. But yeah, I don't know, like a basket of skulls is such a weird thing. Like it could be Corn is sort of the obvious answer in a way, but it's just like, I don't know, why would they put him in a basket? Like I'm trying to figure out the story behind that, and it doesn't make sense to me. So.
Just prancing through the meadows with a basket of skulls
and a bonnet. Instead of curds and whey, it's skulls and whey.
Yes.
I think
Also, is that
makes
skull
sense.
bleeding on the top right, or is it just cracked?
I thought it was cracked. Ooh, if it's a fresh skull, like, man, I'm going back to my
There's no
ogre
way that
guess.
it's a fresh skull if the rest of it is like bleached. What? Oh, maybe we're not seeing the colors on this properly, and what I'm
Well,
interpreting as
it's in
like
black and white. Right?
no, I know, but sorry, maybe I'm not like registering that this isn't actually supposed to be like bleached bone looking, and that maybe the skulls that are kind of on the bottom that are warped are actually because they still have some like muscle and like skin on them,
Yeah.
and they're just like super malnourished. And
Because, like,
but
if you look at the bottom of the basket, it looks like there's a liquid. It looks like there's red around the tops of the heads that are upside down. So, like, on the bottom there.
yeah, Matthew says Sons of Behemoth. That's true.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what would be cool is like a new man-eater kit or whatever the tiny giant. By the way, thanks to everyone for joining us. Glad you guys could make it.
We
See you all in the
forgot you
chat.
guys were here. We were just talking to each
Oh,
other.
are we doing a show?
Yeah. Hold on.
Oh man.
What was your social insurance number again?
right.
I'm just curious.
It starts with 111,
Okay.
111,
Yep.
112. Yeah.
Gotta keep them on their toes.
Yep. And I apologize in advance if that happens to be your social insurance number, though I can't freaking imagine that being the case for anyone. Yeah.
Yep. Bahamut says we know there's a new Foot Claw Lord.
Well, we
Question
don't
mark?
know. So
I
that is
think
coming. That I do have stuff. But yeah, it could be Skaven, but again, this cage looks too beefy for them. Also, they don't really have like a lore of like eating. Well, they do kind of, but they've got like a lore for eating their own as well. So, yeah, if this were Skaven, I think there would be skull rats in there as well, and like random other. I don't know. Yeah, my first thought was ogres, so we'll see. You know. How many different sculpts do we have for Claw Lords in production right now? I think one. But I own 4 so far. Not and then there's the guy on the knobbies. So 2 if you include the knobbies. But yeah, the Black Hunger. I know. But the Black Hunger though is them eating anything, and also like. I don't know. Why would they keep the skulls? You know? That's true. They do have to eat. And I do too. So maybe it's a picture of my bucket of skulls. Although mine's in like a little better condition.
Yeah. It's also at the back of the fridge. It's really hard to get to.
Yeah.
I feel like it would have like some stuff on it from the surrounding things. Like
I've got to organize it, but I've got the baking soda in the front. So maybe I'll put it at the back.
Yeah. Do you have a little drawer to keep your skulls fresh?
Yeah, it's in the crisper.
You know? Nice.
Yeah. Or that's what I call my
cranial
my
crisper.
Skulls. Yeah. Exactly. And then I've also got the other bucket of shoulder blades, but that has nothing to do with eating.
If those are human heads, that cage is kind of big. It would need to be a large creature or a vehicle. Yeah. I could see that.
I think they are. I mean, GW really loves their skulls.
Yeah. Maybe like Sludge Raker beast sized, because that thing has like some cages on it too, right?
It does, and that's what I was thinking of. Like that's what made me think of KB. But the bars are like not quite as thick on any of their sort of cagey stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see this as like anything destruction, to be honest. I think it's either like Flesh Eater Quartz or maybe Skaven, but what you said about it like doesn't really make sense. What you said makes this not make sense.
Right.
We're like, why would they just have a basket of skulls? Yeah. Anyway, let us know what you guys think in the chat.
Yeah.
And
I guess we can move on.
Yeah.
So we've got the preview coming up. There's like find out who won. And it's like, okay, well, it was like 63% the whole time for Skaven. And then yesterday, the final day of this, it was still 62% for Skaven. And so I can't imagine there was like some kind of crazy, overwhelming sweep that happened in the last minute. So it looks like the weird thing is though. So I did pull up. Actually, if we want, I did pull up the video. I muted it, right? So I got that ready, but then I went down because things were. There we go. Wait, why isn't that showing now? Oh, right, because it was down here. There we go. So I muted it just for everyone's sanity, but real quick, it's halfway through. I like to start it with the image of a Stormcast, like just engulfed in warp flame. So you're welcome, everyone. Okay, but anyway,
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So this is clearly the thing we already saw, right? Like, in what universe is this not Torghast? This is a video that they clearly prepared way back in the day before the leaked image of the Brood Terror, got leaked. And then they were like, oh, we better add something. We better show something for the Stormcast as well. So they showed us Torghast. And then did they forget, or did they just like, well, we're not going to change, we're not going to re-edit, like this one image in there. Like, I guess they threw out the video file that they were editing or something, and they're just like, nah, I don't want to do that again, man. That's yeah. I mean, it actually would have been easy, even if that were the case. But what do you think?
Yeah, I actually haven't had a chance to fully watch this yet, to be honest. But the whole like Torghast thing is weird for sure. Maybe it's just like magically another Stormcast hero that like doesn't have any legs and also these like massive ethereal wings.
Yeah, and the cloth dangling down past where their legs are, like
aren't, but yes,
they are there.
No, doesn't have any legs.
That's like there's like a meme for Street Fighter right now, because after Bison does his like crazy super, he stands there and it like, I literally thought he said word. Like that. Turns out he says worm. He calls them a worm after, but now everyone says word because everyone heard the same thing I did. It's like this guy and his no legs. What up, Big Ron? Judges in the house. Yeah, that's a lot of them. End times. Warpstone was listing out the different claw lords we've had. End times, Island of Blood, Scritch, Spike Claw, Games Day 2011, Queek Older, Spinetail, Tretch. And a very impressive list. I feel like you're still missing one though. Oh, what about the current one? Oh, that's the End times. The guy with the he used to be the BSB. Is that who you mean by the End times? Because I can't think of another one. Anyway, so yeah, I think this is obviously Torghast, and then we've got the business. We got this sexy beast here. So someone was nice enough. I'm just backing it up so you can see as much of the bottom as possible here. Because so I do have like the screen that someone took of the shot when it goes up more. And that's all I was looking at originally. I didn't even know that this came from a video until like later on that same day. It seems to be a warlord. Like the first guess that everyone was making was a like just a regular, because they're replacing all the heroes on foot. Like we've got a new Grey Seer, even though we had an old Grey Seer that was a really good sculpt as far as I was concerned, right? They're replacing the Master Molder and blah, 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 blah. But, so then the first guess everyone made that I heard was this is a new Skaven Clawlord on foot, right? But then I was looking at it, and if you look at the right side here, where on this, like where this thing is, it looks like the pauldron of like maybe like what I was thinking a bone breaker, which is like the giant rat ogres that the claw lords would like ride into battle, kind of like what Thankful does. And then someone else, shout outs to oh damn it, I literally tried to memorize it for the stream. Someone on the Discord, and by the way, if you want to join the Discord, where is it? It's not showing their name. What the heck? My thing like it's deleting everyone's name. It just says like I ... Anyway, they said on our Discord. What's that?
You're in streamer mode on Discord right now. There should be a little thing at the top that says disable if you want to.
Aha. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Cool. Because I don't have it up there. And now it's not showing our cameras. There it goes. Okay. Okay, sorry everyone. It was shout outs to Legion of the Bland on the Discord. He said if you look just below the hilt of the sword, you can see that there's like what looks like the face of something. So it looks like he is mounted on something. Though if that's like a giant bone breaker, the face looks a little bit skinny. So I'm not really sure. Oh, he had a Claw Lord on Palanquin? Huh. I could see that too. By the way, Warpstone, did you finish reading the Skaven Tide novel? Like, I've been asking anyone and everyone, you know, if anyone's read it. Like, I want to know how it was. I bought it on Audible, but that's you, Legion of the Bland. Yeah, got to give you credit where credit's due. That looked like the right side thing looked like a pauldron to me, so I thought it was like, I instantly thought bone breaker. And then Jason on our club Discord was saying something, there's like a named character going around, something Foulblade. I don't know if he's from the novel though, so a lot of people are saying that. But
Jim
Jim
Foulblade?
Jim Foulblade.
I know that guy.
I think that's his brother.
Oh, yeah. That's my bad.
Yeah. Russell Foulblade?
Russell Foulblade. That sounds right.
Yeah.
Russ for short.
Yeah. Or Rusty to his friends. You think it's a pet companion like a rat hound? That'd be cool. It looks like he's standing on it though. So like I'm wondering about the palanquin now. You know? The palanquin kind of makes sense. The hard part too is like I am halfway through the final book in the Dungeon Crawler Carl that's out, book 6, and I can't just like stop listening to it. Even though I'm really in the mood for something Skaven, I can't, man. It's too freaking good. Has blind shadow possessed rat. You might have just changed the whole thing for me. I might literally just have to start listening to it tonight. That sounds freaking awesome. A blind shadow possessed rat. That sounds like do you guys know Zatoichi? It's like an old series of movies about the blind swordsman. He has like a sword cane. It's like they had like more, I think it had more sequels than any movie ever. And then Beat Takeshi made like a remake of it in like the early 2000s. That's weird and whatnot, but I mean, he's the guy who made Battle Royale and a bunch of those movies. He's in a bunch of gangster movies. Actually, do you remember MXC, the show MXC?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the hosts of that.
Bathroom?
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, Beat Takeshi, or I guess Takeshi. I don't know his. Anyway, that's what he's called. But yeah.
Remember,
so
Guy Ledouche was one of the hosts.
Guy Ledouche.
Guy Ledouche.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, Guy Ledouche here. He was so awesome. That show was amazing. It always like blows people's minds too to know that like that's not the show in Japan. Like it's totally different in Japan or whatever. And it's also from the 80s, by the way, not like the early 2000s or whatever it was on over here. So yeah, It's pretty funny. Oh. No. I mean, he was blind. Zatoichi? Oh, no, yeah, I'm not talking about him. I'm not talking about the Kung Fu movie guy. Because Warpstone said that, or was it Warpstone? It was decent, hardly life-changing, but a fun read. Definitely a Stormcast novel. Ugh. Okay. Well, maybe I'll put it back in the back of the queue. But like it did sound cool to have like a blind, shadow-possessed rat. Like that just sounds amazing. Big Ron, thank you so much. Member for 6 months. Yeah, that's so kind of you. Did you get
crazy.
a new?
That's been that long.
I know. It really is. I think you're the longest. Are you the longest?
I don't think that's true, but it's still a very long, very long time.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Thank you again. That's so kind. We appreciate you. Baba Ganoush. Right on. Matthew remembers. There's always something Baba Ganoush in every episode. Usually someone who eats it on the stones. Definitely a Stormcast novel. Anyway, I'm so excited for this. It's this Saturday. It's like something like 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. So we won't be doing like a live stream, whatever. But I can't wait. Like, I played around with the idea of waiting. You know what I mean? And then reacting to it. But I don't know. I don't know that. I just don't think I can wait. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Wait, how so? Sorry, I'm not sure what you mean.
Well, like I played around with the idea of waiting until like I could do a live stream to even look at it.
I see.
So even though like everyone will have already seen it, but I think the jealous rage would just overcome me and I would start murdering people. So
that's fair. We have to lock you in a cage and
yeah.
And even then, it might not contain you.
It never has before. Now I need to find.
I feel like I saw MX. I think Matthew's talking about MXC. I think I saw that.
Oh.
On a streaming service somewhere. Like it was somewhere weird. I think I remember seeing it on like Paramount or Prime or something like that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, it weirdly holds up like super well. My brother when my brother was over not that long ago, we watched a few episodes. So I'll have to find that too. But yeah, let us know in the comments section if you're watching this in the future what you think this is going to be. I think it's definitely a Skaven warlord or clawlord rather on something, right? I think we can all agree because look, if you look at the bottom right, there's like maybe like another rat tail behind there or something. I guess it could be his, but I don't think so. Regardless, like that's below where his feet are going to be. So he's up in the air on something. So palanquin, bone breaker, some kind of new mount would be cool. I'm down for any of it. The sword, like the silhouette of that freaking sword is amazing. It's so sick.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like something out of Warcraft. Like some sort of crazy enchanted weapon or something. Right. Also, my guess is probably that it is a Skaven Clawlord on Skaven Clawlord.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Kind of like their own version of what's it called? Yeah.
They're just trying to get into an R-rated movie. Yeah. So it'll come with a little like trench coat kit. For an extra. Yeah, exactly.
Like the Flasher Gremlin from Gremlins. I mean, they are gremlins. They are just rat gremlins. Like they clearly, right? Yep. Gremlins was very popular when Skaven came out. Like, Pepperidge Farm remembers. Oh man! Speaking of awesome memes, so that is that. I'm wondering if it's a named character because we already have a Clawlord on Gnawbeast. And like, even though like the rules get made up way after the fact, right? Is the base going to be all a pile of rubble or a dead body? There's nothing in the 4th edition reveal. Was there hidden in plain sight type thing? So I don't know how new to Age of Sigmar and Wargaming you are, Legion of the Blend, but like when they come out with a new starter set, they always have like a bunch of stuff that gets shown off originally that's in the box. So we've seen everything that's in the box up until now, unless I'm misunderstanding what you're saying there. And then there will be like at least 10 more kits coming with the main release of, with the books, the army books. So, there was not a spoiler, like a kind of like leaked, what do you call it? Like a leak. There was a supposed leak of what was coming for Skaven. And that was not on there. But so, yeah, there was nothing on there because they said some kind of behemoth at one point. And it's not like they're going to have like a Claw Lord on a Scryer Vermin Lord or whatever, right? That doesn't make any sense. Although, that would be pretty dope. Like, that might be kind of cool. Like,
maybe it's a Verminous Vermin Lord that's just a whole bunch of rats put together in a big pile.
Well, we already do have a Verminous.
But a new one, right?
A new one.
Like,
yeah, go on.
It's just like tons of rats just grasping onto each other in like this awful, unbalanced pile of death.
I like it. It's very insane.
It is insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, welcome to the stream, Asri. Roving Maw did go 5-0. I'm actually going to be talking about that later tonight.
We are.
Definitely want to talk about that. So that kind of blew my mind a little bit.
And Legion says, yeah, I just wondered if they'd snuck things in the new edition trailer. Been playing Warhammer 30s. Okay, cool. Oh, I mean, like I was playing for a while, and then I took like a 20-year sabbatical from Warhammer, and then I came back like 8 years ago. And like, so I wouldn't have been like, they've definitely like nailed down this sort of format that we keep seeing in the last like 3 editions or so of Age of Sigmar and 40K. So yeah, I wasn't sure, but yeah, there will be at least 10 more kits. I would think, hopefully more. Yeah.
You've been playing Warhammer 30 years? That's cool. I've been playing 31 years though.
Yeah. Actually, have I? How long have I been playing? Actually, literally, I've been playing 31 years.
Not like completely. You probably
started. Oh no, not straight. Ago. Not straight. That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
Also, for reference, I'm not even 31 years old, so I was just messing with you.
Yeah, I thought you were referencing. I was like, it was 93. That's crazy that you said that.
Oh, I know. I was there.
Yeah, in spirit. Yeah.
Exactly.
He didn't hit anyone with
with a reinforced shooting unit that helped him a lot. Yeah, that's fair. I try not to overanalyze the pairings too much, just because sometimes I feel like it can make me feel like this is in reference. So just so everyone knows, I'm going to be talking about it later. There was a Roving Maw Army of Renown that went 5-0 at, I think, Salt Lake Open, if I'm not mistaken, this past weekend, which is a fairly large tournament. But yeah, I try not to overanalyze whenever that happens to someone. I'm just like, if they just manage to get like a good pairing path or something like that, I feel like it can very easily make me sound salty that like they got that or something.
Yeah,
but
it's true though. You have to be careful of that because like yeah, I was actually I won't reference fighting games again, but
okay.
But yeah, there was there was a huge blow up of like the most famous, one of the most famous players ever. He was watching the Evo that happened a couple of weekends ago, and he was like so salty, and he was just saying stuff. And for him, it was like crazy, right? It was kind of awful, but it just made me realize that like it could go either way. Like you know what I mean? Like you can not be salty and someone could think you're salty, and then, or you could just say something like that you think is a joke, and then the opposite could be true, you know? Yeah. Anyway, Bahamut, what are you, I wanted to know, wait. Very much a Stormcast book, and they are playing up the horror part of the Skaven more than funny backstabbing jerkbags. Okay. And then you said there's a brood horror in the book. In like, oh wait, I thought that was, they're connected, but clearly it's not, because you said in the core book. What do you mean in the core book? Because brood horrors have always been Forge World models, to my knowledge. I'm trying to think. I think they've always been. Anyway. Okay, so that is coming on Saturday. It's 5 p.m. BST, British Standard Time, or whatever the heck that means. So screw us. It's at 9 a.m. and they can go to hell. I will be watching. I won't be able to watch it live. Here is the screenshot of it gets it up a little bit higher. I like the double banner thing on his back. It's super awesome. It's kind of like a, you know what I mean? Like if you've seen some of those I'm trying to think, I think medieval samurai and stuff like that, they had banners on their backs too, right? Sometimes. It reminds me of it for some reason. Yeah. I'm trying to remember.
To me, whenever you think I think it's something like that. I think the what is the Polish cavalry called again? They've got the hussars, winged hussars.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. That felt like an entrapment.
What do you mean it felt like entrapment?
Like you're trying to get me to say something not kosher.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Almost gotcha.
Man, a new Queek. If they bring back, god dang it, Sockjack, come on, man. Quit saying things that I want, okay? Well, and by the way, was there a foul blade in that Skaven Tide book? I know this shouldn't be a conversation between me and Bahamut about the Skaven Tide novel, but whatever, man. Okay. Anyway, so I'm really looking forward to this. Anytime you guys want to bring it back up, feel free. I will flip back to this. But I guess we can move on to the tournament results, because I feel like we should, just because people are already people want to talk about it enough that it's kind of like me and this new Skaven, the new Skaven models coming out. I'm gonna be sticking it in there regardless, right?
Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah. Hey. Did you see what Asri said?
Asri.
Scribor
Rangers have some wonderful. I don't actually know how to pronounce that. Dwarf cavalry hussars on bears. Gotta love the pole. Yeah. That sounds pretty rad, actually. It's definitely an awesome aesthetic. Like the winged hussars, Polish cavalry. Pretty neat. I think they also had
sorry.
I can't remember. They had some clattering things on them or something like that too. So when they were riding into battle, it just made a crap load of noise, and it scared the shit out of everybody. Sorry for swearing, but yeah,
we're past the 5-minute mark.
Yeah, we're past.
Barely.
Screw your
whoa.
Okay, moving on. The result.
Sorry, real quick. I lost it because it does have to do with this. Because Asri said, I am salty. He gets 2 Fire Slayers opponents, and I get 2 Lumineth opponents. It's nothing against him. I'm just salty about my luck. Yeah. No, I mean, yeah. I don't blame you. I can see that too, you know?
That's totally fair. It's tough though, because it's really difficult to judge someone's path to victory without actually having been there and knowing each of their opponents extremely well and how they play those armies. Because for all you know, those could have been the top 2 Fire Slayers players in the world, and the 2 Lumineth players that you played, I'm not saying this is true, and I'm almost positive it isn't, were 2 of the worst Lumineth players in the world or something, right? Army is definitely at play here, and there's definitely counters and a bit of rock paper scissors going on, and to some extent, if you have like a good pairings path all the way to the top, then it can be pretty favorable for you. But who knows, right? Like if you're just playing against real good players, then it's going to be tough either way. And almost no one actually knows what other people's metas are like, I think. Unless you actually go there and you play tournaments like in their local meta, it's like basically impossible to know what the general vibe is. And even then, like I would say just going to one, you probably don't have a very good idea of like what's actually represented there. Because like if you take the Pacific Northwest, for instance, you hear about like some players that are coming out of it that are really good. Like you have Matthias, you have like Matt Beasley, you have Mason Knox, and like Alex Gonzalez and stuff like that. But there's like, you know, for each one of those people,
tried to skip over that. I just want to take a moment and recognize that you actually placed higher than any of them last year in the ITC.
Well, I appreciate it, but
yeah,
for every single one of those people on that list, there's like probably 5 to 10 other people I can think of in our local meta that are like just a step below, that are still quite scary to go up against in a game that, you know, I've either had super close games with or have lost against. And who knows if someone else's meta is just full of sharks like that, right?
Yeah, it's true.
It's pretty impossible to know.
Well, and like,
but,
sorry. Yeah.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I just was thinking about like Eric is like a killer. He just doesn't get out to as many tournaments. So he's just like not like recognized probably as much, but like he always plays like hard-nosed lists. Alex is a killer, but he chooses to perpetually play terrible armies or terrible lists or both, you know?
Yeah. Alex is like a skilled like serial killer that chooses to try and kill you with like a gum wrapper. Like he's clearly a very smart, good player. And then he's just like, what if I try and do this in the hardest way possible with the worst army possible?
I hope he listens to this later because there is a picture of him that I think Eric took where he looks like a serial killer on the street or whatever. I think it was during COVID.
Yeah. Well, there's also the street is called like Stab Street or Shank Street. Or
right.
Like
Yeah. Like, it often gets like cropped down so you don't see. You just see him like staring over his shoulder at you.
Yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about like some of the recent like GT results that we've been seeing. A lot of people have been, you know, pretty scared of Nighthaunt, which is very valid. They're extremely good.
Right.
But it's been surprising to see Ogre's been doing well, like 3 5-0s in the last 2 weeks, I think, or maybe 3 weeks. Damn. 2 of which are Tommy Miklos, which you see at the top of the screen here. he's a very good Ogre's player from the south. That I met him in Atlanta actually.
Makes sense. He's from
I think
Georgia.
he almost made he almost made the champs bracket in Atlanta as well, I believe. I think he went like 4-1 in the pool play, which is incredible.
Wow.
Like you know, it's the World Championships and you're still doing a 4-1, which is really good. So it's not a surprise to see that he's doing well down there. But the one that surprised me most was there's a Roving Maw list. And if you don't know what the Roving Maw is, it's the army of renown that like got released in that Dawnbreaker. What is it called again?
Dawnbringers?
Dawnbringers, yeah. The Dawnbringers book. And it was just hot garbage when it came out in the book. And I think that memory stuck with me when the new edition came out. And then I took like a very brief look at it and I just kind of wanted it to be garbage. And then I just kind of like didn't really pay attention to it. But I've been looking at it again ever since. And I'm just like, maybe there's actually something to this. Because what it does is it makes it so that your gorgers can suddenly just run and charge, which is like incredible. If you have a deep striking unit that can be super fast too.
No kidding.
And then you also have, like we all know, we saw in the last battle report, the last 2 battle reports, that the Maw Pit can just be like crapping out mortal wounds from like 18 inches away, just like constantly just like throwing mortal wounds all over the place. And then what the Roving Maw does is that you basically roll 2d6 at the start of each battle round, and you add the number of models that were slain by the Maw Pit in the previous battle round. And then depending on how high you roll or what results you roll, it could be every unit in the enemy's army on the battlefield takes 1 mortal wound on a 3-up. It could be the only thing is that you don't if you're like flying. There's a couple key things that just like shut it down. If you have the fly keyword, it doesn't apply to you. But if you don't, then it's like it could be every enemy unit on the battlefield, no range whatsoever, is just 2 up D3 mortal wounds as well. And then the one that's the craziest in my opinion is I think if you roll between a 9 and an 11, modified, so that accounts for like the +1 you get from the heroic trait and the additional pluses you get from like killing models with the Maw Pit. Enemy models that are like vulnerable to Maw Pits, which is basically if you're not flying or if you're not like hugging terrain, just can't use commands. That's what it does.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I don't know what I was on when I was looking at it and being like, this sucks. It's stupid. And of course, someone brings out like 3 Gorger Maw packs and just like a crap load of Gluttons and Iron Guts and stuff like that. Or no, he didn't have Iron Guts. He had 2 packs of 12 Gluttons and then 3 packs of 5 Gorgers, and just I'm sure walloped people. Like,
God. But I will say though that to to Asri's point or your point maybe. The matchups are super important in that because like if you go up against Night Haunt, you're flying. It literally does nothing, right?
Yeah, but the thing is that part of it is that it just gives you Gorger's run and charge.
That's
right.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
And the nice thing is that so in regular Gutbusters, your run and charge is tied to being near a butcher, which inherently means that you kind of have to stay somewhat balled up. It also means that you can't have like free agent units of Gutbusters that are just like zooming across the battlefield. Whereas if you have Gorgers that can be deep striking in on like the corners of the tables and they can still auto run 12 inches and then charge something afterwards, like that's incredibly good.
Absolutely. I was thinking, I forgot that you said that at the beginning. And then I was just like, well, like there's just a hard counter for this whole thing. And then you just against some armies, you just basically don't get it. But then you reminded me about the run.
Night Hunt is still like not good to go into it for sure because it shuts off your entire thing. But there is a spell which basically you like pick a piece of terrain, and if you're wholly on it or within an inch of it, like it overrides that essentially. So it's like you can't go near that piece of terrain anymore, otherwise you're going to get affected by this ability. So,
well, and couldn't you zap the terrain with that spell and then set off your Maw Pit?
Well, the Maw Pit things started the battle round, so there's some timing things to do with it, but it's still like still really good. Like I think that it still has play for sure.
I mean, that sounds pretty amazing. But first, are there any restrictions to it? There must be. Like you can't take like BCR or Noblars or something, right?
No, you can't. Both of those you cannot take.
You cannot take. Oh shoot.
Yeah, you have to take Gutbusters and Gorger Maw packs. That's it. But Gutbusters is like
heroes, right?
Well, they're Gutbuster heroes. Like Gutbuster, the keyword,
I see.
Which is like Tyrants, Slaughtermasters, Butchers.
Okay.
And then the foot troops.
But that's like all the best stuff, all the best.
Exactly.
Heroes,
yeah. It's like all of the best stuff in the army gets to be in this army of renown that has extra good abilities. So
that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's nuts.
And you're really not giving up much because like you still get the impact mortals on the charge. That's still a thing. Like so that's shared between regular Ogre Maw tribes and the Roving Maw. And then the only thing that you're really giving up is +2 to run in the Ogre Maw tribes thing. But I think it's kind of worth it because you're getting run and charge with your Gorgers.
Yeah.
Which is really nice. And then you're also giving up your like...
Can you still give the other guys run and charge?
Yeah.
How do you
They're
do
just
that?
not +2 to run. Because a Butcher gives it out. That's on his War Scroll.
Oh, I see. Got it. I see.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy good.
Yeah.
Like that. Oh, that all sounds amazing.
Yeah. It's just a crap load of wounds that are putting out like incredibly high volume, high quality attacks, and just splashing mortal wounds out the entire game.
Does anyone else remember when Arcane Bolt was considered like too powerful of a mortal wound spell? So you had to get the spell off, and then it just did D3 mortal wounds, right? And like,
yeah,
that's so much better. It also went from 18 inches to 12 inches, by the way.
Yeah, that's very true.
Oh,
Ezri
man.
says you do miss out on the outstanding ogre spell lore and the +2 to run. That's true. The spell lore is a big one that I should have brought up too, which is access to +1 attacks via a spell and -1 to hit via a spell is a pretty big thing to miss out on it. But
That is huge. Yeah, absolutely.
it's still pretty good.
It's still real good, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. How are you? Which way are you leaning?
I think probably in its singles GT, you're probably better off bringing ogres still, just because you can set it up in such a way to deal with some of the things that Azra is mentioning in the chat, some of your weaknesses.
Right.
You can have screens, and you can
Right.
what's it called? You can.
I was going to say the biggest downside to me was not getting access to Noblars.
Yep, that's a big thing. But I mean, I can live without that, I think. But I think where the Roving Maw could actually see play is teams. If you can like somewhat control what it's going into, then
right.
It's probably more scary than regular Ogre Maw tribes, I think.
Yeah, I feel like Roving Maw, like it's terrifying to 99% of people, but if you're Night Haunt or Deepkin or a few other things that, like especially Night Haunt, they're already good, right? So like you go in, you rock into like a bigger tournament, it's going to be really hard to dodge all the Night Haunt and all the other like strong factions that might be like a strong counter to Roving Maw specifically. So the regular ogres do feel like more of like a it's like a hard counter to most stuff, but then it has its own hard counter, so it's kind of more like a skew. It's like a skew list, right? And so that makes sense to me what you said about the teams. I think in teams it's broken practically. Like unless the other team gets to decide, of course, what you're rocking up to, right? But
yeah, exactly. And another thing to bring up too, which Azri also said in the chat, was that the list that Ian, so I think you're actually looking at not the right, it's the other tournament result that I'm talking about. But Ian, I can't remember his last name. Ian,
should I switch over to that tab?
McAleese.
McAleese, yeah.
He was only 1930 points.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So
should I open up his?
Sure. Yeah. Ezra says, yeah, ogres are hard countered by -1 to hit and reinforced shooting. I agree with the second part, but not the first part. Just because usually when you're encountering a -1 to hit, it's at some expense. Like Lumineth is one of the things that kind of comes up a lot when we think of -1 to hit. But when you think about like what you're actually going into, it's not particularly wound dense, and you can actually kind of get through it with like a 1 all-out attack and a volume of attacks.
Right.
At least that's been my experience. Like it's not that it's not a problem. It's just that there is a trade-off where it's like if you can actually get a good solid attack through, then they're not recurring in any way. So they're kind of just dead. And it doesn't really matter anymore. But reinforced shooting is definitely a problem, especially if that shooting can somewhat outrun you. Like I really hate going against long strikes because they're so like they teleport and they're fast, or like bliss barbs, same thing.
They're like one of the best units in the game.
Yeah.
Like they're so good in the general's regiment. It's kind of crazy that I'm surprised that they're still good. You know what I mean? Because they were good last edition, and like usually GW likes to rotate stuff out. And they were a staple like that whole edition. Anyway, I did pull up the Roving Maw by Ian McAleese. 1930 points is crazy. Roving Maw spell lore. I don't know if that's good or bad. Do they get 3 spells?
It's not great. They get 2 spells. One of them is the one where you can make like a piece of terrain dangerous again. Like,
I see.
You can't hide in it.
I mentioned that totally.
And then the other one is very bad. It's give the caster +2 rend.
Give the caster +2 rend. Yeah, because like
Although, I mean, I guess the butcher is kind of nice. I guess because it's like you have damage 3 attacks, and you have 3 attacks, so it's like you'd be at rend 3, damage 3. That's definitely scary. But that's like a last resort. I think you'd probably cast a manifestation before you did that.
Probably, but then at the same time, there's like situational things where you're like, well, I gotta send in my butcher and I gotta hope he does stuff. You know what I mean? Like, that's the nice thing about like just being able to pick a whole lore now instead of picking a single spell. I think it's great.
The caster +2 rend is hilarious on the Slaughtermaster. Yeah. Because
He's got a lot of attacks?
He has 2d6 attacks. So he could be going in and being like, I got 2. And then
or he could be
those
going,
2 attacks are going to go through. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're damage 1, so it's like
sheesh.
Yeah.
That's fair, yeah. But pretty reliable. Well, yeah, I guess not.
Hilarious is an accurate descriptor, I think.
Yep.
You know? Yep.
Totally. And he normally has, all right, it's +2, so he's at 3. Got it.
It affects the Slaughtermaster's Noblars? Yeah. Watch out for those 5 and 5s.
Yeah. Does it?
Unless
companion,
it's
right?
I don't think it's companion.
What? Why is it not a companion?
I don't know. I don't even know why they kept that profile. It's kind of weird. I have to check now.
Yeah, that's a pretty weak profile. Right.
Slaughtermaster. Yeah, it's not companion. Oh no, it is companion.
Okay.
So it doesn't affect the Noblars.
Cool.
I
was gonna say, like, how is that a companion? How is that not a companion? And the Hell Pit, it's just a monster. It's not companion to anything, and it has companion.
Screw you.
Because screw me. Yeah, that's fair. I knew it was gonna happen. I said from the beginning.
Yep. The two, like the heroic trait and the artifact that you get are actually quite solid.
Cool.
The artifact that you get basically makes it so that if whatever, basically you want to put the artifact and the heroic trait on the person that's going to be sitting in the Maw Pit, i.e. the Slaughtermaster, because the artifact gives the Maw Pit a 5-up ward, which is pretty nice. You know,
whoa, that's scary. What do you mean?
10 wounds,
nice?
10 wounds on a 5-up ward is pretty good. You know, like
Yeah.
it makes it a little tougher to kill.
Yeah.
And then
how many? It's 10 wounds and it has a 4-up save, I assume.
5-up save.
Oh,
5-up
okay.
save, 5-up
Okay.
ward. So it's like it's killable, but all of a sudden
It's-
it means that you actually have to put something like quite potent into it in order to kill it.
Totally. Yeah, that's kind of scary.
And I've said this many times before, but it's like if you're putting an entire unit of long strikes into my Maw Pit, then I'm happy for you to do so. Like, you're welcome to do that.
That's fair.
And then the heroic trait just adds 1 to the roll. When you're doing like that, roll 2d6 and see what happens. Actually, you know what? Why don't I just read it out?
Let's do it. War scroll time, everyone.
It's the Army of Renown for the Roving Maw. Roving Maw. The Orving Maw.
That.
I typed out. Orville Redenmacher. Okay. So it is the Maw Pits of Gurn is the ability, and it's once per battle round. At the start of the battle round, you roll 2d6 and add the number of tasty morsels you have to the roll. Apply the corresponding effect below for the rest of the battle round, then reset your tasty morsels to 0. So tasty morsels is basically however many models that the Maw Pit killed in the previous round.
Okay.
And the heroic trait is that you get a tasty morsel at the start of the battle round. So you just add 1 to the roll. If he's in the Maw Pit. So basically every turn
Okay.
except battle round 1, you'll be getting that. And then, so on the 2d6 roll, if you roll a 2 or a 3, it is subdued. So there's just no effect. It doesn't do anything. So if you roll double 1s, sad.
Right.
On a 4 to 5, it's peckish. You subtract 3 from the control scores of units that are vulnerable to Maw Pits. On a 6 to 8, it's rumbling. Roll a dice for each unit that is vulnerable to Maw Pits. On a 3-up, inflict 1 mortal damage on that unit. Keep in mind that this could be like your opponent's entire army, unless they're hugging terrain.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then on a 9 to 11, it's famished. Units that are vulnerable to Maw Pits cannot use commands. Just period.
That
can't use them.
nuts.
And then on a 12 plus, it's ravenous. Roll a d3 for each unit that is vulnerable to Maw Pits. On a 2-up, inflict an amount of mortal damage on that unit equal to the roll. And then just for a quick definition on what vulnerable to Maw Pits is.
Yes. That's my
Um,
next question.
It is units and manifestations are vulnerable to Maw Pits while they're on the battlefield unless they are wholly within 1 inch of a terrain feature that is not a Maw Pit.
Wholly within?
Yeah, yeah. Which means you
What?
have to be hiding in the woods, basically. That's
Yeah.
the only place you can safely be. This
Yeah, some
ability has
units like can't even do that, like with a lot of terrain, because their base size is more than an inch.
Yep. It also severely restricts where you can go. Like you basically can't be touching objectives and not be
Yeah.
vulnerable to the mob hits. This ability has no effect on roving maw units or units that have fly. So can't hurt yourself, can't hurt things that fly.
Damn.
But then there's the spell, which is Maw Meat, which goes off on a 6. And it's the unlimited spell. And if you pick a terrain feature within 18 inches, and if it successfully goes off, for the rest of the battle, units on or within, not wholly within, 1 inch of the target are vulnerable to mob hits. So notice that overrides fly, I think. Which means even if you do fly, it suddenly makes it so that
now you can't be near that terrain.
Yeah, because what...
And it's within what distance again?
1 inch or wholly on them. So basically if you're within an inch, yeah. Basically. And then, so the reason why that applies to units that fly is because with the Realm of Hungers, the passive ability, it specifically says this ability has no effect on roving maw units or units that have fly. It doesn't say that units that have fly cannot be vulnerable to mob hits. So
no.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, so suddenly like shooting the mob pit with long strikes seems like actually not like a bad idea, to be honest. Because if you kill the mob pit, that stops happening, right?
Nope.
What?
Yep.
How do you stop that from happening?
You don't. You just...
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That seems kind of obnoxious, to be honest. Like, for most armies, you're just like, okay, I'm just, wow, taking mortal wounds or having, wow.
The kicker is that like this army is paper thin, right? The saves wise, if you can get in like a high volume amount of damage, like it's gonna cut through this army pretty well. And then in addition, like a lot of shooting will probably shut this army down fairly well.
Why is
Maybe
that?
not. Just because like most of the time the trade-off with shooting is that it's like a low rend or something like that. But you're on 5 and 6 up saves with ogres. So you can kind of get picked off pretty easily.
But I feel like they, instead of having a good save, they've got something better, which is just more wounds. You know what I mean?
That's very true. And then maybe like if you're going against someone who's like super fast and has a good save, like I think Stormcast probably is a bit of a problem for this list. Like a good Lumineth list will probably be a bit of a problem for this list. Nighthaunt is just a problem for everybody. But yeah, it's neat. I commend you, Ian, for thinking outside the box and looking into an army of renown that actually like a lot of people probably wrote off immediately, including myself, just because it was so bad in the previous edition. But yeah, it's cool. I might give it a shot, and then take all the credit if I do well with it.
Yeah, Ian who?
Who? Delete that episode. It never happened.
Oh man. And then I mean, we should probably recognize some of the other people too. Like we got in this first, I don't know how many people were in this tournament. 32.
So in Salt Lake Open there was 32 people.
Okay.
Or were 32 people rather.
I see.
And
okay. And then
so it looks like our top 5. Sorry?
The Dojo Open also has a little more than that, it looks like.
Dojo Open was 34 people.
34.
You'll recognize a couple names on there, like Fred Schmidt, who's a friend of the channel.
Yeah.
He's been on the show a couple times.
That's cool. He's also he's also, I guess, from Georgia as well.
I think he's from Georgia, but I know that Georgia Warband spans like actually more than just Georgia.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, there's a bunch of people that went to the Dojo Open that I'm quite familiar with. So shout out to you guys.
Absolutely.
But yeah, Tommy Miklos, that's his second 5-0 in a row with ogres so far, which is pretty crazy.
That's amazing. Good for him.
Yep. Yeah.
He also is he also playing the Roving Warband? Or Roving
No,
Maw?
he's playing regular ogres.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. So they're still doing well. Ogres are good. I think ogres like really presents a problem that I would say like 80% of lists probably just can't deal with, which is just pure wound density and like pure damage output and speed. And then I think really what's going to beat ogres is just a really good player, more so than anything else.
So like you
So
mean
they're-
the answer to everything.
Yes. Well, I mean, sometimes you'll have something where it's like if a really good player plays against like a quite good player, and the quite good player is playing like a specific army that just hard counters whatever that really good player is playing, then for sure. But I don't know that ogres is like hard countering anything so much as it is just like generally a difficult thing to deal with.
That makes sense to me after playing them against you. I can see that for sure. Do they answer any problems? Like, are they a hard counter to anything else?
Ogres?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I'm notoriously bad at saying like my army's NB counters anything, just because I feel like as soon as I say that, I'm gonna go into that thing and just die. Like
That's fair. You're
yeah.
motivated by fear.
Yeah,
yeah.
Which is why like
Makes sense
whenever
to me.
whenever I've done like teams tournaments like pairing metrics, I'm like, oh, that feels like a yellow. That feels like an orange to me when you're like, because the scale is from like red, which is like you're gonna lose. Orange, you're probably gonna lose, but you might tie it or something like that. Yellow is it could go either way. Lime green is you're probably gonna win, and then like super rich green is like it's a guaranteed win unless something crazy happens. And I'm always like, sounds like a yellow to me. I could see it going either way. And like I end up just like blasting the person. And then,
I mean, that's always better than the opposite, though, right?
I mean, like the coach needs to know an accurate representation to get like pairings correct.
Yeah,
so
fair.
if I'm always like wishy-washy, I'm like, oh, I don't know, I might lose. You never know.
I guess that'll probably come with experience. You're not like it's not like you've been playing the teams very long. Because you're kind of newer to teams, so
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Mr. Beasley, who's going to be putting up with me at the NA Masters in October.
yeah,
There'll be a lot of that.
a lot of wishy-washiness.
Yep, I'm sure he'll love it.
Hopefully, he'll slap you. Just get a hold of yourself.
Yeah, that sounds like something he'd do. Yeah.
Yeah, you know they're it's interesting. So okay, so we have ogres in first place in this tournament. We had Ossiarch Bone Reapers. I haven't been hearing anything about them, but it would never surprise me to hear that they're good. You know what I mean? That person, Walter, had 3 of them had perfect scores.
Yeah, Walter's just a good player too. Him and I are actually on the same team for Release the Beast, which is like an online teams tournament.
Oh,
that's
cool.
kind of going on right now. And I think this is the same list, or maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, oddly though, I think that OBR is like the most balanced out of the Death Armies at the moment. Just because I feel like Night Haunt is clearly a little or quite overtuned. Soulblight is like still, I would say, also quite overtuned. And there's some stuff in Flesh Eater Courts that's pretty nasty too. Or if you combine like the Summer King's Entourage into other armies too, that's nasty.
Pretty good last time. I agree.
I'm kind of lumping that in as Flesh Eater Courts, essentially.
I see. Yeah. I found them to not like hit hard enough anymore. They used to have like the crypt horrors and stuff, and so I found them a little lackluster now, but obviously I haven't spent too much time fighting the sauce.
You have a ton of ghouls which are just like don't care about bravery anymore, not that they really did in the past anyway, but like
no, not really.
Still like just mass volume of attacks. Morbeg Knights are just straight value right now.
Morbeg Knights are
really
good. For sure. I gotta get those.
Shorin's really good as well. Like they're a good army.
Yep. I think they're I don't know. I think they're very mid tier personally, just like but I've only played 2 games with them, so
fair enough.
Yeah.
There was an OBR list that won an invitational in the UK over the weekend. It was Wild Nagash, Reinforced Harbingers, Reinforced Immortus, 2x5 Death Riders, 1 drop. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, that
That
seems
sounds
to be
kinda
like
rad.
when someone's bringing Nagash, they're like, all right, I got to stuff like a
Yeah.
500 point absolute hammer into this list, and Nagash is going to bring it back for free.
Yeah.
That's my list,
Yeah, that's true.
and it
Yeah.
works. Like it's if you know how to
Well,
predict
also Nagash is
Nagash,
just worth more. Like he's just better now. You
yeah,
know what I
he's good.
mean? Yeah,
He's
he's
real good.
good. He's like yeah. Before he was just like hard to make. You could make him work, and now it's
Yeah,
like he's good. Like he's scary, and he
yeah,
should be. But you know, like I don't know. I'm not saying that they found the right balance with him yet. Like maybe he's a little too good now. I don't know. I'm not saying any of those things. I'm just saying it's good. I think they've at least. I think they're on the right track now with Nagash. God models are hard to make work.
I think so. There's a couple that are actually pretty all right. Like Alariel maybe is a little overcosted, but her abilities are fantastic too. Like you can bring back like Belthanos from a 4-up if you want to. Like it's
Yep.
crazy.
Yeah,
Um,
and you get and it's not like you can't. You can keep trying, and there's no like real cost to it either. The only thing is that if you kill Alariel, then she has to try and bring herself back, and then if you don't, although I guess couldn't you just keep trying with Alariel too though?
yeah, on
Yeah.
herself. Yeah.
So yeah, huh?
I mean, it's a 4-up. 4-ups will plague me until the end of my days, I think. But
Everyone actually. Yeah, that's why I'm not a fan of certain other units, but played by a 14-year-old as well. He'd eat the harbingers up the board, wait for them to die, then have Nagash bring them back full strength and do it again. Sounds good. Jeez. Huh. The harbingers. So is it a reinforced harbingers? I guess then, or can you not reinforce them anymore? Oh no, that's what it said.
reinforced.
Sorry, it said reinforced. My bad. Wow.
Morghast Harbingers. So the crazy thing about them is they have like 3d6 charge. So even on the turn that they come back, Nagash only has to set them up outside of 9. And a 9-inch charge on 3d6 is like not unreasonable. It's pretty. In fact, it's worse than average to get a 9 on 3d6.
Right. And how many points are reinforced harbingers? Like
500 and
Jesus, you're
20,
getting
I think, or
crazy value
540.
for that. That is
Yeah.
messed up. That is crazy messed up. I think yeah, that's a secret sauce for Nagash lists. Brutal.
Yeah, like one of the list that I like the first loss I had at Tacoma, which was a really close game against a guy named Adam, was a really nice guy. It was just Nagash, and then he had 10 Blood Knights, and then there was Vordry, and that was basically the list. There's like some Fellbats and stuff too, and he's just brought back 10 Blood Knights, and it hurt. It sucked.
Brutal. Yeah,
'Cause they're on a 3-up
crazy good
5
too. Yeah.
And they're on a 3-up 5-up because Nagash was able to give him a 5-up ward too. And that's another thing too, is that like those Morghast are probably always on a 5-up ward. And the nice thing is that what you're saying is that in a list that has Nagash and like a massive hammer like that, because Nagash has access to all of your like OBR or like Night Haunt or Soulblight spell lores. So whatever buffs that you can be issuing out from that are probably going to be applied to that unit because he's got +2 to cast.
Right.
And they're going to have a 5-up ward. So they're at like max strength and tough. And then they're coming back.
In
So,
Night Haunt, he could do it for 2 then. Right?
for 2? What do you mean?
Well, he could. Isn't one of the, or maybe not anymore. I thought one of the spell or one of the spells.
Oh, Leader of the
Night
Spectral
Haunt-
Hosts, I think, is the one where you spend a CP and get a half strength unit back.
No. Yeah, that's true. That is a thing. It would have to go on a hero, of course.
Yeah.
No, I thought there used to be a spell in Night Haunt where you can give something a 5-up save, or 5-up ward save. So he can do it with his. He'd be able to do it twice then, once with his ability, once with.
Well, his abilities, he can cast it as many times as he has cast, so it doesn't matter.
Really.
Yeah.
So he could put He can have like every unit in the army on a 5-up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Invocation of Nagash is you pick a unit. If it's friendly, it gets a 5-up ward. If it's enemy, they take D3 mortals on a 2-up, I think, or maybe it's just D3.
Oh, crazy. So,
Yeah, and he can cast it 9 times.
oh my god,
Because he has 9 casts.
that is crazy.
Yeah, it's
That
pretty good.
is maybe Nagash is undercosted. Like,
I don't think so. I think there's a couple things around Nagash that like maybe make him just a little better than even then. I think he's very good if he's in an army like that, and it's very
Right.
hard to deal with.
right.
But I don't necessarily know that that's like the problem right now. Maybe he could go up in points like a little bit or something, but I don't think it's going to be anything crazy. I think maybe surrounding him, you might see manifestations can't be like you can't have multiple manifestations on a wizard anymore. I could see
That
maybe that changes.
I think that would make. I think that is a change that they will hopefully make. Like, I think that they will. I believe in them enough to say
Yeah.
that they'll probably do that. Just because it solves so many other problems. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's it's not just Nagash that it's, causing this problem. Like Slans, Croak, Techless. There's just so many, power Dom wizards or whatever. So, yeah.
Supreme Lord of the Undead will almost assuredly get changed to a non-reinforced unit. Interesting. Yeah, that's fair. Maybe it's a little crazy to be bringing back like 550 points.
That's a great idea. I mean, I'm not saying that it was you who came up with it or whatever. Maybe it was Azri, but like, yeah, that's a great idea. That would also solve another problem, But I mean, this is why, like, I don't know. I can see if someone who doesn't enjoy the chaos as much could be like, this is broken, like, and just kind of get like uptight and frustrated by it. But I'm loving this early stage of Age of Sigmar where it's the Wild West and who knows, Morbid Conjurations are very, very good.
Yep. And with Nagash, like he's just getting them out. For sure.
Sure is, yeah. I mean, plus two, maybe not,
+2? Yeah, probably. Like the likelihood of rolling a 5 on 2d6 is like really good. It's like 70 or 80%, I think. And then you just keep trying every turn.
Yeah.
That's for like Gravetide. But yeah.
He is more likely to get a miscast as well in there.
Yeah, so. But if he gets a miscast, he just loses his +2. He gets to keep casting.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it's only for the turn. So.
Well, yeah, that makes
real
sense.
Good.
Jeez Louise.
He's super reliable.
Yeah, let's get Azri's change in there.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, I faced 2 Nagashes at Tacoma. I'm like,
it sounds like it.
Familiar. Yeah, and
he had his way with you.
Yeah, I played him in a couple practice games too, and it hurt. It hurt.
That makes
Good
sense.
evening, Jason. Good to see you.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We're just talking about some of the recent results. We also talked about this handsome devil over here, the what we think is probably a Skaven Claw Lord on something, or the named character, and a few other things as well. Yeah. Man, these, like, the website for Best Coast pairings, everything's on the far left over here. But then, like, most other things are like, see how far off this is now. I should have made a different one for Best Coast pairings on its own. But
let's see what Fred was running at the Dojo Open.
Frederick, there he is.
Frederick.
Crew Boys, hell yeah!
Oh, I love how much smaller the lists are in 4th edition.
Yeah,
I opened this
so
I remember when you and I were
Oh.
doing list review shows for tournaments previously, and you'd open up a list sometimes, and it like is
It
more than the
never-
page.
Yeah,
And you're like, Just-
that's partially an iPhone thing sometimes too, partially different builders and whatnot. But this is mwah,
Yep.
loverly. Whether it's Listbot or the app, they both just look so nice now.
Yep. So he's Cruel Boy's Lightfinger, which I believe is you can use Sneaky Sneakin' twice per turn if you want to. Sneaky Sneakin' is the teleport dirty trick for Cruel Boys.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it would still add to the rule. So let's say you try to do it on a 2-up and failed, you could do it on a 3-up after that.
Seems good.
Then, sorry?
Seems good. You know?
Yeah,
I like
quite
it.
good.
Mobile.
He's got the Corpse Ripper Vulture, who's got Slippery Scumbag, which means on I think at 3-up he can just retreat out of combat.
Nice.
Very good. Especially I think it's got like a 4-up save or something like that. So it definitely wants to not be in situations that are not on its terms.
That
And
makes sense.
then you've got 2 groups of monster killers, which are just like straight value right now. Like a lot
They
of those
must
Warcry
be.
warbands are
Yeah.
real good because like I think monster killers are 100. Yeah, they're 120 points, 14 wounds on a 5-up, and they have like
Jeez.
3 attacks each, crit mortal. So that's like 21 attacks or 22 if there's a champion. I can't quite remember. And crit mortal, they can be getting +1 damage from the Sludge Raker. Like, oof, like, and their ability too is that I think on a 2-up you just can't use the rampage that you wanted to use near them.
Right. That's good.
And there's something else too. I can't remember exactly what it was. He's got 2 groups of Manskewer Bolt Boys, which they're solid. They're really good. I think they went down in points since 3rd.
They did, yeah, because they were 120. And
yeah.
now they're 110.
Yeah.
They don't crit mortal anymore, so that's a huge difference. Nothing does. Most things don't have.
Yeah, but I mean, their long range shot I think is like Rend 2 damage to.
Their long range shot is like 15 inches, though, I think, or 12.
18.
No, 18. Oh, is
it 18
it's
18.
Yeah.
But the thing is it doesn't really matter because like you can teleport them really easily, right? So you teleport like 6 Bolt Boys behind something, blast it off the table. And if you save your sneak in as well, like you can put them in a pretty precarious position and just hope that you roll a 2-up. And with Lightfinger, you could be rolling like a 2-up into a 3-up because you can use it on the same unit twice, I think. If it fails the first time.
Right, because it's not like a command or something. Yeah.
Yeah. It's got a Swamp Call Shaman with Potgrot. It has the Swamp Staff. Can't remember what that does. It's got a big old block of 20 Gut Rippers, which is on average going to do like 30-something mortal wounds if it has all buffs applied to it. Which, yeah. Dang. Cruel Boys is really cool right now. They're like super techy. Some of the stuff relies on dice rolls for sure. But like, you know, I like that it caps at a 5-up because even if it's at a 5-up and you're like, I'm going to charge into that unit, they're like, there's a 1/3 chance that you fight last, buddy. Like,
yeah, that's true.
Take those odds.
Yeah. I mean, and I think I would probably be keeping some of my stuff for that as well.
Yeah,
but
I watched actually AOS Coach did a really good video with Jacob Brandon, who is like an excellent Cruel Boys player of 3rd edition and kind of he's holding on to them for 4th edition. And he said that what he likes to do is his own turn, he likes to like burn all of his what's it called, like sneaky tricks or dirty tricks.
Yeah.
Because they're more reliable then, and you're enacting your plan. And then he basically just lets the 5-ups ride in his opponent's turn because it's like he's not relying on them. It's just, you know, they mess with their opponent's plans, right? Which is really smart.
The only thing about Bolt Boys is that like you teleport them off into the corner, and then if they don't kill what they're supposed to, then they definitely die. But Keith, thank you so much. Gifted a membership to DKM2.
Didn't quite get Ludivicus. It's who's aiming for.
Ludivicus put ducks. Next time, shakes fist. says Keith. That's very generous. Thank you so much. We've been, investing again in better audio. We felt really bad about the audio issues during the last stream, and so we're working on it. We're gonna have hopefully wired mics, not wireless anymore, and we're using every buck we get to improve the stream. So thank you very much. It's very kind.
Much appreciated. Azri says, I'm curious as to why he went with Kronspine. It could be because he's like fairly low on casters. I've heard some people say that if you have like 1 or even maybe 2 casters, you can bring a Kronspine just to like...
Yeah. No, that makes sense to me.
Because, you're not going to be getting like all of them off with Morbid Conjurations, but I kind of disagree that...
Sorry.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Jason.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jason. That's so kind. Jason gifted a membership to Jason Mengelson.
Jason Moreno.
Moreno, sorry. Dang it. I said it backwards. And Leviticus dodges another one. His luck is incredible, or his bad luck, or whatever you want to call it. Amazing. Thank you so much, Jason. That was very kind. We really appreciate it.
It's just going to turn out that Leviticus has like gift memberships turned off because I know you can disable that here. So.
Can you really?
Yeah, you can.
What?
I think you can.
Oh no! Don't tell Alex that, man. That would be.
But yeah,
because the more times Alex gets gifted it, the funnier it gets. Like it just keeps doubling down. Yeah,
it's just pure comedy.
Exactly.
He's never willingly bought a membership in his life.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, he like I could see him getting one with that. He's like hate watching or something too. You know what I mean?
He's got like
damn it,
the number 1 finger that says Saga of Dice on it, like all the like the hat and stuff like that. I hate that show.
No, I was just thinking like, you know, like I don't know, like pick some kind of, you know, public figure. Like I don't want to get political at all, but just like picture someone that you don't like. You know, like some people like hate watch stuff, right? And just like I could just see him absolutely getting nailed by something like that.
Yeah. Stupid Robin Carson with a stupid show.
Again, I wasn't trying to imply that it was us. It probably is. That's probably
it's not turned off. Okay, that's good.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't aware either, Litivius. I wouldn't do that because like I don't hate watch anything, but like yeah, like there's a couple of people that I support, and I'm just like, man, I wish I could have. You know, sometimes you want it. You want to get it. Are y'all getting floods from that landslide and dam burst up the river? I know it's distant, but I saw that there were flood warnings all the way to Vancouver. I didn't actually hear about that.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly where it was, but there was like a big landslide that blocked off.
Really?
I want to say like a river or something. And then now the river has like pierced through like where the landslide was, and it's going down the Fraser now. I don't mean to sound like pretentious, but Rob and I are mountain people. We don't concern ourselves with the troubles of the river folk. Okay, we're too high up for that.
Yeah, we're. I mean, like it is true though that like we almost never get flooding in our city of North Vancouver because we're on the side of a mountain basically, and so it basically just flows down the streets.
Oh my god!
What the hell? 10? God dang. Okay,
let's better get Leviticus.
Not so far. Once again.
Ooh, Mason Knox.
What? 1, 2, 3.
I love this. Is like Braden just like picked up a rock, and the underside of it was just all of the lurkers in chat that aren't saying anything. It's like, here's your membership.
Yo,
thank you so much, Braden.
Braden, that's so freaking generous, man. That's a lot. Alex doesn't believe you, Leviticus. He's like, he must have it turned off. He must. Leviticus said he didn't know at the time it was a thing. Wow, thank you. That is so freaking generous, dude. That's so generous. I can't believe that, man. That blows me away. Thank you. That's so kind. Matthew, Cure, actually, Amnephis? Amenephis. Brian, Jojo, Gerald, Hammer, great name, Hammer Hands. That's such an awesome name. I wish that was my name in real life. Hammer, first name Hammer, last name Hands. I have small hands, but they're like ball peens.
Ball peens?
Anyway, yeah, ball peen hammers. You know what?
Yeah.
Okay. Balls in my hands. What's going on? Teal Moonstone, Jim, and Mason. Yeah. Wow. Oh wow. I like the
version of stopping it and saying hi is like cannonballing into the pool. Like, it's just...
I know.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Oh man, that was so kind. Been busy tonight, so you missed the stream. Just figured you'd stop in and say hi. Well, what a way to stop in and say hi. My God, man.
I feel like I gotta buy him a steak dinner next battered bison. Goddamn.
Yeah, yeah. You should. You absolutely should. Or at least buy him a drink. My God, dude. Like, so what a, my God, that's so nice. Sorry, that just threw me for a loop.
It's all good. I think we were talking
Where-
about the crown spine with what's up?
So where is Braden? Where are you from, man?
Saskatchewan. And that's
Saskatchewan?
as general as I'm or specific as I'm gonna get.
Yeah,
'Cause
no, that's fair.
yeah.
If you're coming to something in the area, I gotta buy you a drink. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Let us know if you're able to make it to Northern Wastes as well. Be awesome to see you out
Yeah.
there. I know Dom's coming. But-
I'll send some dice up for you too if you want.
Oh, he doxed himself in the chat. There we go.
I thought you said it at first. I misheard you. I thought you said you doxed him in the chat, and I was like, "What? I didn't do anything. I don't know where he's from."
Yeah.
Nice, awesome. Oh, that's cool. Wow. Yeah, Bahamut also dodged them, and he's always here. That's amazing. Yeah, that it would be our pleasure, Braden. Yeah. What's your drink? Let me know. Okay, sorry.
Everclear. Everclear and apple juice.
What's Everclear? I actually don't even know.
Just super high percentage alcohol. Like
Oh, is it cool? Like 150 overproof kind of thing?
it is. There's like stages of it.
Oh,
Talking
crazy.
percentages, it's like 60% or 75.5% or 90%. Or
Jeez.
yeah.
Jeez. Yep. Well, 150 overproof that's 75%. Yeah. Oops, I hit the Windows button and things just went crazy. Okay. We're okay. I just got to get this beautiful, beautiful Claw Lord, hopefully Claw Lord or named character back on there. It's just too. Oh. By the way, Braden, what army do you play? I think I've asked you this before, but I'm sorry. I want to know. It's just like this
Spoil
weird.
it for you if you want.
What's that? Oh yeah. What does he play?
He plays OBR.
OBR. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Everyone in
Nice.
chat, it's green except Latificus. And Bahamut. But yeah.
I don't even know. Do you choose your own color? I think you do, right? No?
Nope.
It just tells you what you're going to be?
Well, green is if you're a member.
Oh, duh. Right. Wait, no, but Keith is blue. Oh, but he's a mod. That's why. Right.
Yeah.
Got it. Oh, man. That's amazing. OBR. Okay. I'm gonna think of something. I don't play OBR. He must have missed all the OBR love. Yeah.
Honestly, Braden's personality and the army that he plays like don't match whatsoever. Because you think OBR, you think like he's like playground bully kind of thing, in my opinion, anyway. But Braden is a very nice man. He's a gem of a person. So
He clearly is a very nice person. Jeez. Might be trying out Fire Slayers in the near future. I've been solidly on OBR for the last 2 years. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because some of the nicest people that I know play OBR. Like my favorite people to play against. Matthias
like
plays them.
Matthias.
Yeah.
Oh, I was joking.
No,
It's like,
I enjoy playing against Matthias.
Matthias is great. He is a villain, after all.
He is a villain, but sometimes you like the villain. Like I always liked Venom from Spider-Man. Like at times I liked him more than Spider-Man himself. Lethal Protector, you know? But it's like okay. Like there's this phenomenon too with like Khorne. Like Khorne are like this techie army that are very aggressive, right? But most of the Khorne players I know are like, whatever, man, and they're like super chill. So I don't know. Maybe there's something there. OBR have awesome models. They do. OBR is a playground bully. Matthias is one too. It's hard to disagree with anything you're saying. And I mean, like, and I've told this story before, but god dang it. Jason, thank you so much. Like,
So close.
how is it possible? We've had, what is it, 13 gift subs tonight. That doesn't include the people that are not already members. And somehow, Ledivicus, I'm finding it harder to believe now too, Ledivicus. Like, I need to see a screenshot that it's like not turned off. Not that I even know where it's located. Yo, thank you so much. You're all gems of humans. Not just the OBR players. Wasn't there a Stormcast book about how the Skaven stole the secret to their lightning reincarnation? There's, I think you're thinking of Hamilcar by... What's his name? I might even have it. No, that's the wrong book. I think that's the one you're thinking of. Ledivicus has like at least a 4-up ward against gift subs, man. Matthew said 6++. Yeah. I think it's higher than that. He stole Gotrik's old ward save against gifting. Jeez. Gotta say, Catapult might be my favorite part of OBR right now. Really?
Catapult's pretty good.
Well, I mean, like, they were really good in 2. Like, I thought they were busted in 2, because it was like, you could give them 4 shots, and they did 5 damage. No rend, but against, like, my stupid, like, Ryan was picking off reliably picking off both of my engineers or bombardiers. Like, on average, he killed them with one catapult. But
wow.
Yeah.
The nice thing about the catapults is that they still have like quite far range, like long.
Yeah, they used to have like 36 inches. I don't know what they are now.
They're 24 now, but almost everything's moved to 18.
Yeah, exactly.
So
and they still move 6 inches, I assume.
5, but still almost a 30-inch threat range is really good.
Right. Can you still give them like +3 movement?
Yeah, you could. So actually, you're right. Yeah, so 32-inch threat range. And then the Dread Catapult itself is 4 attacks on 4s and 2s, rend 1 with an additional rend against infantry, crit 2 hits still, and then D3 plus 2 damage. So the damage output's like pretty decent, pretty good actually, if you're on 3s and 2s all out attacking. And then the big thing is that you have Deathly Barrage, which is its ability, which is pick an enemy unit that was targeted by all of this unit's shooting attacks. This phase to be the target, and the effect is roll the dice, add 1 to the roll if this unit is wholly within 12 inches of a Mortars and Os effector, and add 1 to the roll if any other Mortec crawlers pick that enemy unit to be the target of this ability this turn. On a 4-up, the target has Strike Last for the rest of the turn. So being able to dish out Strike Last is really good. Another thing too is that it's specific. It doesn't say you have to like have dealt damage. It just has to have targeted with all of its attacks.
It's so much better. I mean, you do have to make the 4-up roll after that, right?
Yeah, but if you're let's say you counter shoot with this, right?
Yeah.
And then you counter shoot against something, and then all of a sudden on a 3-up it has Strike Last, which is incredible because it's any shooting phase. It's not just your shooting phase.
Oh, right, and then yeah. Jeez.
So it can be doing like a pretty formidable amount of damage, and then it's got a really good ability. So yeah, it's solid for sure.
That's incredible. That's a cool. I agree, Brayden. How many are you running? Best I've done so far is 27 damage. Holy moly! Jeez, how many points is that thing? Does it say?
I'm looking it up now.
280 points. Damn.
Yeah, so it's a little pricey, but
it is pricey. But like, I don't know, man. I might run 2 of those bad boys. The major issues with the the Hunters of Huanchi, yeah, they're the same thing. You just have to target a unit. but you have to
It's
be
-1 charge dice.
yeah, that's pretty awesome. Though you have to be a lot closer, obviously, with the bolas, but you can, because they're 10 inches, but you can just teleport outside of 9 and then hit them with something, and then for 80 points, yeah, they probably, like, even if they die, like, whatever, you know. Brayden had it right there. Did you notice that? He had the points right there. How many, like, are you running 1 or 2 of those things? This Clawlord really gives me Eldar vibes. Hey. I've been called worse, but yeah. I am digging this Clawlord a lot. Or whatever he is. I'm starting to hope it's a named character. Like, I usually don't say that, but
I like the idea of the palanquin. Palanquin?
Palanquin's cool, you know, like that was a thing in fantasy battles. You know.
I feel like Skaven would never trust each other to carry them around
I
on
know,
a palanquin.
but there you
No?
go. But yeah, in
Like-
8th edition, it was the best choice of mount for your warlord. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they're gonna bring
Trying to
back
get
the
2
whole
minutes.
like loyal storm vermin thing or something like that. You know.
That'd be cool. They're trying to get 2, but it's so many points. Yeah. Was that 560 points? That's a lot to dedicate
That
just
is
to
a
shooting.
lot, but like it's pretty good. And then you could have 2 things striking last that you
Yeah.
charge into, and so if you target it, could you do it on the same unit?
Yeah, that's the thing,
you
is that
fail?
so you add 1 to the roll if you're near a mortars and ossifactor, and you add
Right.
another 1 to the roll if someone previously used that ability against that target.
Whoa!
So let's say that you shoot
2
everything
up.
into 1 unit and then it fails, right? Like you don't roll the 4 up, you're like, or the 3 up, and you're like, okay, I really want that unit to strike last, so I'm targeting it again with this catapult,
God
and it's
dang,
on a 2 up now because of
that
it.
is so sick.
Which is actually really thematic when you think about it.
It
You're like
makes sense.
doubling down on it, and it, yeah,
Yep. I really
Pretty
like
cool.
that. Oh man. Yeah, like OBR has always been this like thematically very cool army that, you know, that like the best players in our area played when they were like ultra top tier, and I had a bad time against. But I like the idea of the army. I'm ready to fall in love with them, you know. I'm not going to play them because enough people play them locally that you know what I mean? Like I can live vicariously through Matthias and others, right? But yeah.
yeah. OBR is the male model that negs you at the bar. Okay, make you feel terrible about yourself, but god damn is he hot.
Hey.
God damn, and I am ready. Okay,
Yeah,
ready
like
to be
if
swept off my
OBR
feet.
if an OBR like kissed me, I would like resist it first a little bit, but I might give in to see how it feels.
Yeah, I'd give
Right.
it.
You'd give in.
Yeah,
You'd lean right in.
yeah. I'd kiss the OBR.
Put your head behind his head behind his head.
Yeah, I'd grab the face on the back of his head because
Yeah.
he's got 4 faces, right? Just like an
Oh
Immortus
right,
guard.
yeah. It's Immortus or what's the other one?
The thumb would
Stalker.
just sneak its way into the mouth of the face on the back. And then, and then we'd make sweet, sweet, passionate bone love.
Oh, the humanity.
I'm never playing OBR though. I'm never playing.
What just happened? I think Brayden is now very sorry that he was so kind to us. Oh, and someone said earlier, so Tyler got the last one, and he said apparently the gift setting is channel specific. I didn't know that. Had to enable it here. So maybe that's the issue, because you gotta enable it. That would be crazy.
Also, sorry to hear you can't make Northern Wastes, but
Oh,
I
no.
get it. You gotta spend time with your family.
Yeah.
That's what take my bones. I'll pay your tithe.
Oh man. Yeah, I'd offer Brayden some meat dice, but thematically that just doesn't work at all, does it? It's like the one thing they don't have.
Yeah, we don't want that. I think I gave him some. Pretty sure.
Oh, did you? Cool.
Well, because I
Cool.
played him at Battered Bison, so he would have got Kraken dice, meat dice, and maybe that's it. Maybe I gave
Nice.
him a club dice too. I can't remember.
Cool. We're gonna have more of those soon. So
Yeah, and they'll be smaller.
they will be smaller. That was the vote. I'm not a huge fan of small dice personally. I really like the 16 mils because they're just so
It's
much
just a
more
convenience
legible.
thing. Now that I
Yeah.
can give myself +2 attacks with my gluttons, I'm for it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm rolling like 36 dice, then 37 dice, then I'm definitely fine with it.
I used to like the very first pack of dice I ever bought. Literally the first dice I ever got were green, like warpstone colored Chessex 12 millimeter dice in those 36 packs where the edges are really hard. But like, remember like the place where we used to play back in the day, they used the Realm of Battle boards and they're like all plastic and there's a bunch of cracks in them. So like the little dice, like you couldn't use them because they were just like, they were never flat. Like nothing ever landed flat. So, but also like for me, it was also superstition because I found that like personally that, I don't know, like I know it's dumb, but I just felt like the 16 millimeters rolled better. So yeah. Okay. So Ladificus says, when he said I had to enable it, I went looking, but I don't see anything yet. ... Oh, Ezra, are you leaving us?
Bye-bye. Have a good night.
Thank you so much for hanging out. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I didn't see your earlier comment. I was just like, I'm not seeing it. Anyway, as you whispered, take my bones. Plural or singular? Bridge. I'm trying to.
But, you got to pay the tithe. It's plural.
That's true. That's true. Just take the one.
I'll take one, but grab another.
Exactly. They don't got no lips. You will be waiting a while. Oh man. Well, let us next.
A Harlequin romance novel, The Most of Catacross, or something like that. Like,
yeah,
it's just him standing on a cliffside. The scroll guy is still pointing the thing up to him, like from the bottom of the cliff.
But instead of it being a scroll, it's like one of those mirrors that they use for tanning.
Yeah.
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 We're getting it all in there. I need my bones bleached. I'm trying to think of a play on words between Catacross and Fabio. Fabicross?
Fabicross. Maybe there's another hero.
Well, there is.
Yeah.
I have to be very careful how I say this. Vok Mortian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The reason I have to be that careful is because Ryan would never call him that. He called him something else.
He put the hard F at the front of it. Yeah.
He really did. And you do mean Fuck.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just to be
Yes.
clear,
Yeah.
our friend
clarity,
Ryan
yeah.
is not a bigot. He's a super nice
Yeah.
guy. Yeah.
Now we just see that one special city guard standing on top of the city gate when the OBR show up for the tithe, shouting, "I got a bone for you." Meanwhile, the other guards are saying, "Shut up."
You've already told that one. Quit saying it. Yeah, that makes sense. Crabio. I feel like I love that, by the way. The only thing is that it sounds like he's a crab. Like it sounds like an IDK thing. Cravio? No, Crachio? No. We're close. We're almost there, guys.
Almost there.
We've almost answered this very important question. Sorry, what was that?
So I'm going to search through the book.
You're going to search through what book?
The OBR one. Okay, we've got Arkham Black.
Right. He's from the old world, though, so like, for me, like I was like,
Archcavalos Xantos? Fabitos?
Ooh!
Zabio?
That's what I was thinking. Zabio. Or Zavio.
No, yeah.
Or it's Zantio? Wait, what is it again? Xantos,
yeah.
Zantio. What's his...
It's just a different name at this point. It's just...
Yeah, that's true. Square hole meet round peg. We're coming in.
To be fair, the entire OBR army is a pun on death and taxes. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Can't argue with that. Attacks on death. Can't argue with that.
I just which is weird because they did anyway. I want them like someone needs to Photoshop now like Catacros's face on Fabios's body. Or no, I think that works better because of the hair. You kind of have to have the hair.
I think you'll find if you Photoshop Fabio's face on Catacros's body, like it actually just looks the exact same.
Yeah, that's true. He is pretty studly.
Nothing changed. You just
Exactly.
gave Catacross hair.
What?
Yeah, hold on a minute. The bulge is the same size.
Yeah.
I also love that Catacross gave himself a massive cod piece too. It's like, just so you know, this tithe was huge. All right.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, like the reason you can tell. So if you put Fabio's face on Catacros's body, the reason that you can tell that it's not. The reason that you can tell it's Fabio is because the cheekbones are too sharp. Because Catacross is just that handsome. You're heading to bed. Thanks again, man. Thank you so much. You're very generous. You're too kind to us by far. By far. Thank you. Wasn't Zapdos a Pokemon? I have no idea. Yes. Zapdos has a nice ring to it. It's an actual Pokemon?
It is, yeah.
That's amazing.
Like a lightning bird thing.
How do you know that?
Google.
Pokemon guy? Oh, fair enough. I thought you were speaking from memory. Now I'm disappointed.
I did know what Zapdos was, but
Oh, okay.
I just Googled it.
Just to make sure it was the same spelling. Zapdos works.
Letter for letter.
Oh man. I don't know. Krabio also makes me think of Zoidberg from Futurama. So he'd be the Krabio, like flowing tentacles going out the back.
Lovely.
Oh dear.
Lovely, lovely.
Okay, so this Saturday, not to turn the conversation back to Skaven, but I'm going to turn the conversation back to Skaven. Sorry, I bumped the mic. I hope it wasn't bad. I just realized one of the things I thought we should talk about is what we're going to see this Saturday. So obviously we're going to see Skaven. Like that's, if we don't see Skaven, then everyone loses their mind because it was 62% the last day of the thing, right?
I love that they're just like, we know that Skaven won, but here's Stormcast anyway.
That would be crazy, right? I mean,
We didn't think they'd lose. Anyway, here they are.
Yeah, we haven't finished painting the Skaven models yet because we were so
Not
sure.
done. Sorry, guys.
Honestly, like I know that they didn't do that, but it wouldn't surprise me. Like they really believe in Stormcast. That's why they're in every starter set, right? So, okay, so assuming that it's Skaven, what are we gonna see? By the way, oh shoot, Carson. Okay, maybe next week we do this, right? That looked a little bright.
Yeah.
By the way, the reason that why everything is now dark, including like I actually added like for the stream, like super dark mode for Chrome because it is so bright. Anyway, we never went back and remember how we made a bunch of guesses for what AOS 4 was going to be like? We never went back and checked on how we did. So next week, right? Yep. Let's just do that next week. I think it's going to be super fun.
Yep, I'm down for that.
And then I don't know, like, can we make it funner? Let us know in the chat or in the comment section if we could do something like if there's a way to make it funner somehow, right?
Maybe if it's right, we have to like take a drink or something. And if it's
I was
wrong,
going to say
then...
if it's wrong, we take a drink.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Or no, if the chat was right about something, we take a drink.
Ooh.
And if we were wrong about something, we take a drink. And also, if we're right about something, we take a drink. And then,
do you want to just drink?
Yeah, let's just
Maybe
skip
we'll
the
drink and then and enjoy the show. Yeah. Hannah says, "I hope Skaven get a motorcycle cavalry unit." Yes. Basically, like, well, we kind of had that before, and if you play Total War, there is the warp grinder, or is that the drill? That's the drill, right? I always blank on the name. I don't get it. Warp flare? I think it's warp flare, right? Some kind of wheel. How to get drunk with extra steps. Yeah, that's exactly what that is. Oh man, oh, that's amazing. So, I would love to see that. Maybe I can make a list. Let's okay, where is that? There we go. Let's get out the old Google Docs. Nice, bright. Oh, nice. I changed it to gray so it won't blind me. Okay. Here we go. So, predictions for big Skaven reveal. I can't see if everyone can see this or not. Oops. Why isn't it? There we go. So, I mean, the first and obvious one is some kind of Claw Lord, right? Whether that's Claw Lord on foot. We got a new Claw Lord, right? Claw Lord on something. something. Because we don't know what that's going to be, right? Like, we can see that there's some kind of Claw Lord on something, right? Is everyone following me? I feel like I'm talking nonsense. Right? And then here, one second. Let's zoom in a bit.
I gotta be honest. Someone said it's perfect. Who's that Pokemon on stream right now? I'm making that. I'm not gonna send it to you for the.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Wait. What do you mean for the
for now?
silhouette?
For right now. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Sure.
Yeah.
I like it. Apparently, Doom Flare. Thank you. I was like, Warp Flare does not sound right. Doom Flare is perfect. Yeah. Well, exactly. Apparently, they changed Acolyte and Doom Flare. They did. So, Acolyte used to be on 30. Well, originally they were on 20 millimeter squares, then they were on 25 millimeter rounds, and then when we got a book much later, they went on to 32s, and now it looks like they're going back to 28s. The Doom Flare was always on the smallest cavalry base, like the same thing as the Direwolves, and now it's supposed to be on one size bigger, and everyone's going. But don't forget though, Hannah, like don't get your hopes up too high, because they also messed up the base size on a bunch of stuff. Like I got my hopes up. Like, it's too late for me, but I'm trying to help you because it might just be a mistake. Because Blood Knights, for example, were on the wrong base size, and they're obviously not changing that because it's a brand new kit. So there were just other plain old good old fashioned mistakes. But with the Skaven impending release, okay, yeah. So Acolytes are definitely coming. I'll put some kind of Globadier, right? Scryer Acolyte. Yeah, I absolutely think that that's a thing. And I'm with you, Hannah. I think we should put. I added a 3 as well. The Doom Flare. But hopefully it's a unit. I'm going to put in parentheses unit. Like, I would like to see them in units of maybe 3 or something like that. So they're on a big. bigger base size, and they just go tearing around. Oh man, I want it so bad now. I can't. It's too much for me. It's way too much. It's too much for you as well. I'm sorry. It's too late for you. I'm sorry to hear that, but join me. I'm gonna.
I sent you a thing.
Did you? Okay. I'm doing my Jack Nicholson. Yes.
I don't like it, bro.
You shouldn't. You weren't meant to like it. I was doing it in the most uncoordinated and scary. I love this, you guys. I can't wait to show you guys.
iPod Globadier.
Okay, this is godlike. I wish I could go back in time and make this the thumbnail for tonight's stream. This is so awesome. Oh dear.
Who's that vermin lord?
Oh dear. Claw Lord on Tactical Rebel. Yeah, that seems like a solid pick. Claw Lord on Tactical Rock is the lock though. Storm Vermin, absolutely. Good call. Storm Vermin. A lot of people think they don't need an update, and I agree, but I also disagree, just because I want an update. Like, I think they don't need it, but they need it like Clan Rats needed it, or like Necron Warriors needed it, Thanks.
You can paste this image into the doc, by the way, if you want to have it at the top.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Yeah. Great call. Okay. Just copy paste it.
Yep.
Cool. Jolly good show. Okay. Copy image. Just put it at the top. Ha ha! Nice. Nice. Okay, now it's screwed up my alignment. There we go. Boink. Okay. It might do this every time I hit indent, but we'll see. The banner is top heavy, but that might always be a thing. I kind of like the Storm Vermin banner. I had a good time painting mine, but I'm going to go all out next time. I already seen the rat with a lightning style gun as well. That's true. But we don't know what that is. Like, that could be part of a unit. That could be part of like a... It doesn't look like... I don't think it's on its own. Like, I don't think they're going to sell that little guy with a gun. You know what I mean? He might be like a... He might be an acolyte, actually. Like, we don't know what they're going to be. Although, like, the classic Globadier, like, of just like a scryer dude with like a glass globe of poison that they just chuck is just so iconic and awesome to me that I hope that they don't change it, personally. I'm going to say a new Vermin Lord of some kind. News, I'll put Scryer in parentheses. That seems like a pretty solid lock of a new thing that we're going to get. No, Alex. I'm not even going to read that. Please no. The missing Scryer and Molder. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I should put Scryer / Molder. I'm really feeling Molder, and apparently GW is too, because we know that we're getting we know we're getting the Brood Terror, right? And so, oh yeah, that reminds me, Master Molder. New Master Molder. What was the other thing? Oh, yeah, new... Or I guess I'll just put Night Runners. That seems like a pretty solid lock. Because that old kit is crazy ugly. Like, it's wild how ugly that thing is. It's like when you have a kid that you just like, like they're just so ugly, and you love them anyway, but you don't like looking at them.
Your kid can never watch this episode.
My son's perfectly handsome.
I know, but I know for a fact you have one kid, and you're like, when you have a kid, like you said, like, from experience. Unless there's another one I don't know about. Like,
that's not what I meant, but I can see how that you got it that way. Love you. There was a named guy in the fluff, but I can't recall his name. Well, if you mean from the Hamilcar novel, it was like Icrit Claw or something crazy like that. Big oof. He would know. I'm not talking about him. Icrit Claw. I don't think they're going to use like because Icrit Claw is a clear like what do you call it? Play on from Ikit Claw back in the old world, and I don't think they're going to even allude to it. Like if they're going to allude to anyone, I would hope it'd be Deathmaster Snitch because like that dude was so badass, you know. Even if they bring him back, like my idea was to bring him back as like a Vermin Lord or something. We might be stuck with old Night Runners as the only Eshin troop. If we're stuck with that old kit, it just boggles the mind, right? Because like it's back when they were sculpting them like monkey dogs. Oh, and the short stories? Which short stories? Oh, you mean like the... Oh, maybe you mean the article like stories that they were doing, right? Is that Foul Blade? I you know, it's been so long since I read them. I'm bigger rats to replace giant rats. I mean, okay. So I don't think they're gonna come back out with giant rats. I wish I was wrong, but they're not in like the kit of stuff to be replaced. They're not all, like, you know what I mean? Like they don't even have legends. They don't even have legends rules, right? You know what I'm saying? Like Scryer Acolytes have rules, and they're obviously going to get replaced because they're metal, right? But the giant rats don't have that. So is this list what I think, or are we doing this together? Like, I'm happy to put down everything everyone says. What do you think, Carson? Carbington?
I mean, I think everyone together, probably. Like, you can...
I like that. Yeah.
You can be coming up with your own little list in some creepy corner in your house as you giggle and
done and
sweat
dusted, my friend. Okay. Like I haven't already done that.
Yeah. You're just
like you
writing it up from memory.
Yeah,
oh,
exactly.
I'm including the chat in on this? Oh.
Yeah. What? Bigger rats to replace giant rats. I mean, I want that. My gut tells me, though, that we're going to finally get plastic wolf rats. Like dire wolves. Packs of them. Which would be cool. I was never a huge fan of the Forge World ones, but yeah. I still kind of hope we get it. I'd love to see, like, something on a brood horror as well. The new novel seems to describe the coming of Skaven as shadows and darkness. Hoping Eshin. Yes. Eshin is my favorite clan. I hope a lot of Eshin. They weren't on the list of stuff that's getting replaced, but they clearly were in that headspace recently. Because we got the Eshin, what do you call it? Underworld's Warband. We got the new Deathmaster, and those were the only two... Oh, no, that's not true. We did get the Pestilence Warband as well. Are the Rat Swarm still a thing for AOS Skaven? They're not right now. But I was thinking that too, that like that's like a likely thing, right? What else is there that we need a replacement for? I would like to see something like is this list what we think or what we want?
I would reasonably say it's what we think, just because it is predictions.
Okay. That's true. That's true. That's true. You're right. When you're right, you're right. So I'll make another list, right? Okay, fine. It's what we think. GW Warhound on TGA forums did some leaks that have been accurate so far. Didn't mention new Eshin. Also, the Haircrown Prime says all releases for the next year. So we might get a wave 2 down the line. Absolutely, Warpstone. We've been saying for a while now, actually, that I actually think that that's like not an unlikely thing, because we saw that for, a few different armies in the past. LRL, Slaanesh, yeah, a few of them. So that wouldn't surprise me. Yo, Keith! To 7 of 9 of spades, or 7-9 of spades. Or maybe, I'm not sure. Anyway, thank you so much. That is so kind. Another one, and Ladivicus is bobbing and weaving, man. Bobbing and weaving. That wily bastard. He's bringing Neo from the Matrix. Just wow, over backwards. Doing the backstroke. Exactly. Or falling in a hole like Carson was doing just now. Anyway. GWR, that's true. Like, and those were the leaks that we were talking about. Though there was like one or two things that made me hesitant, but I do like that. Oh, and Hannah said new weapons teams. Absolutely. I don't know why I didn't put that on there originally. I think they're going to be like a single kit. So you know how the Biovore for Tyranids was like they combined the flamethrower one plus the Biomine one. I can't come up with Biovore and what was the flamer one? Firevore? That doesn't sound right.
Pyrovore.
Pyrovore, thank you. Damn you. Could have said it sooner, jerk. Okay. New weapons. He's just oh dear. New weapons teams. Whoa, he just like backstroked out of existence. He just like quantum leapt into another dimension. Well, oh, he's back. He's back. And in a recliner. New weapons teams, so probably Ratling / Warp Fire. And that's probably it. Right? Because I don't think we're going to see Warp Grinder. I don't think we're going to see the Poison Wind Mortar, even though that was a rad kit from Island of Blood. Thank you, Bridge. Sorry, it's the delays. You feel like you should prioritize? It should. It really should. I agree. And I noticed that it doesn't on Twitch either. Oh. Princess Carson of the Meat Dimension. What is that on your head? Oh, dear. Oh, spam. I thought it was a glass or a tumbler or something. Anyway. Okay. On gift subs? Well, it can't give you a gift sub. I'm assuming it can't give you a gift sub if you already have one. I hope not. New gnaw holes? I don't think so, because those kits are only from 2019. But, oh, new, that doesn't remind me, new Arch Warlock of some kind. Oops. Now you can't see anymore. Boink. Boink. Sorry. Sorry, everyone. Some kind of new Arch Warlock. They might, by the way, they might call them something different. Like the Master Molder might be called like some kind of Beast Sculptor or just whatever, right? Something, that kind of evokes the feeling that they want, but making them sort of a distinct intellectual property from the old world, because it seems like they're trying to separate those two things more and more now. The Galvanier thing. Is that the little guy with the gun? I'm not sure. The new battle tome? Thanks, Alex. No, I think that one's wrong. Best before isn't a use by. That's true. That's true. Honestly, though, like for canned goods, most canned goods, like I used to deal with that stuff. We put an expiration date of 3 years on the canned salmon, but they're actually good for like over 10 years. So I'm sure you're fine.
Yeah, I'm realizing now there's an expiration and a best before, and the expiration's 2029.
Damn. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I've always joked that I have like a can of unopened rotten spam on my desk, but no, probably fine.
Well, the funny thing is like for the canned salmon, like they lasted so long that when you tell people they last for 10 years or more, which is the reality, they get more suspicious and they feel less like inclined to buy it. It was a really strange phenomenon. I worked at a hotel a long time ago, about 20 years ago, and we raised our prices by 99 cents, and and people like they notice that like it does like if you have the 99, like $83.99 feels cheaper to people than $83. It's the weirdest thing. And so like our room rate averages went up or some nonsense. Wheel of Botulism, turn. What? Ghostbuster rat. He's just got like a big vacuum cleaner. Yeah. If you don't want it, I'll eat it. It's friggin' delicious. Spam is actually... I used to think it was like, you know, the Weird Al Yankovic song, like use it for spackle, and like it was just garbage. But then my wife, who's from Korea, because like they grow up in that like wartime food over there, and she made it, and it was freaking credible. Like I still think about it sometimes. I need to buy Spam. I just realized like I need to actually buy Spam. I'm gonna make Spam and kimchi again. It's so good. I wish it wasn't that good. I don't know how good or bad it is for you, but I'm assuming not great. Okay, wait. Is there anything else? Hannah, are you still here? I need. Let's plot. We've got 11. We need 13. Obvious is obvious, right? No one would argue with that. Surely. What else we got? Wolf rats. We've already got the new ogres. We're not going to get a new doom wheel. We're not going to get a new warp fire cannon. Or warp lightning cannon, rather. Claw Lord on something. Globadier. There's going to be more, though. The new... I'm going to say we need 13, not including the new Brood Terror.
What if Skaven is the second army to get a second terrain feature?
Oh, I would like that.
I just planted a seed that you didn't even know existed.
That's true. I would like that. Partially, if for no other reason than knotholes are like, because there's 3 of them and they like stick out in weird angles, they're just a nightmare to transport. I like that. The big monster rat guy they showed already. I'm going to say he doesn't count because I think we got one. I'm with you, Lidvigus. It's Skaven mech. A Skaven mech. Doomsphere. Oh, sheesh. That's such a great idea. Yeah, like the old...
Also just a great name.
Yeah,
the Doomsphere.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing they called the Ikit Claw's bomb that he makes in the third Thanquol novel. I think it's called the Doomsphere. But they also had, I think there was a spell or like an ability in Total War that was something similar. Oh, thanks for joining us, Jason. Thank you again for all your generousness, and we appreciate you having you here. Rat Kings to replace giant rats. Yeah, like some kind of like mutant, right? Skaven gym bros who made pre-workout from warpstone dust. I think that's the rat ogres. They're the gym bros. Okay. I want to include him just because I want to include the Brute Terror just because like I want to have 13 down. You want a warlock and ramshackle mecha? Yeah. Absolutely. I did put down the new a new arch warlock right there. So it'll probably be called something different just because they want to keep their intellectual property sort of distinct. I want the motorbikes from the video game. Yep, that's the Doom Flayers. We got that down. With an assortment of weapons? Absolutely. That all sounds great. Okay. Let's find that list. Because I don't think... Because sensor bearers were on the list of stuff that gets canned. Right? So we won't put down sensor bearers, even though you would think. You would think that we were getting them. Or should we put it there? Because, like, is this a list of what we think is coming? Or is this a list of what, like what someone else said is coming, right?
What we think.
What we think. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, Neo Warlock in a Matrix suit. I like that. Very copyrightable.
Mobile suit ratdom.
Yeah, like some kind of mech. Or is that the Arch Warlock, though? Now, see, I'm now having trouble keeping this stuff separate from each other. One of the undercity buildings was a doomsphere. It would just blow up the city it was underneath. Oh, yeah. Was that the one when they were underneath Nuln? I can't remember. Cultists of Ruin. You know, the other followers of the Great Horned Rat and the Fluff. Yeah. What is a rat pole seed?
I was just playing on the...
Oh, okay.
Hannah was saying Mobile Suit Gundam, Red Ratum, and then I was saying Appleseed, the anime.
I see.
That one's also got mechas in it. So
Nice.
yeah.
Nice.
Rat pole seed. It's a good joke.
Evan Ratlian.
Ghost in the Rat? Rat in the Shell? I don't know.
I was trying to get Evangelion, the best mech anime.
Actually, I like Warpstone's the best. Mobile Suit Gun.
Okay, I just have to put it a combination of Hannah and Warpstone got us there eventually. Mobile Suit Gun with that name just being the piece de resistance. The closest thing they can parody from TMNT Splinter. Well, they kind of did that with the new Skaven Deathmaster. I want another Eshin thing, and I almost don't even care what it is. Other Eshin thing, something Eshin that's not Night Runners, right? Rat in the Rat. Yeah. Rat in the. Yeah. Mobile suit. Okay. Okay. Something. Dark side of the Eshin. There we go. We got there. So, whether it's some kind of like, I mean, I've had a bunch of ideas for like new Eshin units, but like something new Eshin, right? New Eshin. I don't know how much I think. Oh yeah, a Warcry. That's a great idea. Okay, yeah. I'm just gonna put that, Hannah. So Eshin, Warcry Warband. Actually, new Eshin. I'll just put it at the end here. Warcry Warband. Boop. Nailed it. And then, you know. But no, that's a great idea. And it might not even come right away. Because like ogres and a bunch of people just get like random, you know. Oh wait, but then someone said earlier that you're gonna win. They're showing off the next year of releases. So then I think that means we wouldn't get a Warcry Warband like out of the blue. Oh no, they're saying you're gonna get the next. No, you're getting all the releases for the year. Did they say that you're actually showing the year's releases? Whoever wins, we will get to enjoy the reveal of a whole roster of amazing new miniatures during the upcoming Slaughter at Hellcrown preview, which will be broadcast on Twitch live on Saturday, August the 10th. Oh, I see. And then the 5 people will be drawn randomly, and those people will get all the Skaven. I see. Or Stormcast, whatever you just decide. Okay. So it doesn't mean we're only getting this coming year's stuff. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the different base sizes either, Keith. I'm wondering if they're going to start changing that. Like yours have all the same base size, right? Carbington?
What? Sorry?
All of your, what are they called? Your ogre guys, your ogre Warcry Warband, they all have
the
same
all
base
50
size.
millimeter. Yeah.
Right? So, and I think maybe the Fire Slayers one were too. So maybe they're just going to start going in that direction because the varying base size is poopy.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple ones that are feel like newer than the Gorgers that are still different base sizes. Like if you look at
Name
the
them.
OBR ones, the
Damn,
Tyrannic
that was
cohort,
Okay.
the they're different base sizes because they're different. They're actually just different models in the unit.
Right.
Aren't Monster Killers also, or are they not newer?
Yeah, they are. They are.
Yeah.
I remember it after the fact. They're cool.
Yeah.
But
And then Wildercorpse, which came out with the Gorgers, are
which one?
the Wildercorp hunters. They're with the dogs and stuff like that. They're all on different base sizes.
What army is this for?
Cities of Sigmar. It's the one that
okay.
came out alongside the Gorgers.
Right.
So,
yeah.
So in fact, most of them are on different base sizes.
No, I knew that like coming up until now, that's always been the case because it's like Warcry is meant so that each little guy in there is its own unit, right? But I was hoping, even the Fire Slayers one, that makes sense actually because there's like a little baby lizard, I suppose. Although, like, even if they just did like most of them on one, like if you look at the vampire one with they've got like the Shinto priest style dudes with like the rope belts, and then they've got the one like she-wolf, like lichen vampire thing. Like that makes sense, but like when they're all different, like Keith was kind of alluding to, anyway. I'd love it if the new Warcry season would be based in the Gnaw, with ruined Skaven infested buildings. Yes, please. That is what I'm hoping for. I would like that very much. I really, actually, be for a while now, Hannah, I've been saying, like, if we get Skaven as the main, what do you call it, villain faction or whatever that the Stormcast are going up against, my hope is that we'll get a bunch of Skaven ramshackle style terrain, which I will buy at least one copy of all of them, and make a full board of Skaven terrain. And then every battle report will have Skaven terrain in it because I will murder anyone who tries to stop me from doing that. Fine. If you want to play without the Skaven terrain, it's okay as long as I am not part of the battle. Wait. Is your dog actually not evil? Did you make her evil?
No, I think maybe. I don't know.
Or did she make you evil?
So what if I did?
So what if I did? Don't hate the player, hate the game. Whoa. Terrifying. She looks cute, everyone, but if you really knew her. If you know, you know.
She'll kill you.
She will kill you and eat your corpse. Ramshackle Skaven tank with fuel trailer and warp fire thrower. Oh man, a Skaven tank. Okay, let's just add that to. Oh no, that's what I want. It's not what I think. I keep forgetting. I do want it though. Just to be clear, I do want it. I love tanks. I really like tanks in like 40K or any game essentially. I didn't think I did, and then I started painting them and playing with them, and they are amazing. His dog is very well trained. There is a phrase he says when visitors are at his house, and he wants alone time.
Yeah, it goes like this: Ollie, kill, murder. Yes, actually, I can make her very angry very quickly. Who's that? Who is that? Who's that? Who is that? Who is that? Who is that?
That was a demented sound. The demon's just bubbling out, up and over. Thanks for joining us, Hannah. Yeah, we won't be on here too much longer, but it's great to have all you fine, people that are maybe new, maybe not so new. Maybe you were hanging out in the background. Sweet. Just got gifted a 1-month membership to the channel. Nice. Was that earlier? Was Jim in there?
Who was it?
He was in the Braden group? Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
congratulations.
That's
And
awesome.
welcome.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, wait, is
By
that
being
you?
a member of Saga of Dice, you get access to an exclusive set of perks, i.e., your name is green and you have emojis, and we like you more.
We like you. The emojis though are pretty cool, and I'm adding. There'll be more, even more coming soonish. I've got a big reveal coming, and I can't wait to show you, to show everyone, to show the world.
The crazed nature of that sentence just makes me think you have a loose bag of rats that you're just gonna like release onto the street. Like, that's what I was gonna reveal to everyone.
He knows about the rats.
Yeah.
My big giant bag of rats. With Alex, it's really necessary because it's got to offset the dislike, the natural dislike.
Yeah.
You know,
The disdain.
the disdain. They. Ludivicus just dodging every gift sub for all time, though, is another thing that just keeps getting funnier and funnier. They threaten to name someone's child after me. How do I get them to like me less?
Yep. Kenrick's firstborn daughter is going to be named Keith now.
Yes, exactly. And also, wait, didn't I name one of my? Didn't I name like a ghoul champion after Keith as well?
Immediately before he died. I think so, yeah.
I think so. Correct me if I'm wrong, Keith, but I believe. I'll feel really bad if it wasn't Keith, though. If it was someone else who was like, donating. We've had some very generous people lately. So I will feel extra bad about myself then. Never a far journey, though, so don't feel bad for making me feel bad. Okay. Pokemon. Okay, so. Oops. Apparently double clicking centers the thing. Yes, you did. And then it was disemboweled. I mean, he already had his bowels partially out, but it wasn't a long trip. That's great. Well, what do you think, Carbington? Is there any more to add? We've made our predictions.
Went over some tournament lists. We did the Slaughter at Hell Crown thing. I think that's pretty much it from me.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So we won't be doing a stream this week because it's so crazy hot, and yeah, everyone knows that apparently extreme heat and cameras don't mix. Who'd have thought?
Yep.
So we're planning a stream for the following week of Skaven versus Goblins. And so hopefully the weather is as cool as it's supposed to be. But yeah, thanks to everyone for joining us and all the incredibly generous gift subs we got tonight and regular subscriptions. It means the world to us. I hope you got something painted while you were hanging out with us. And even if you didn't, don't feel bad. I wasn't painting either, Did you do the spiel about the buttons and the merch? I didn't. Thank you, Keith. If you did enjoy the stream tonight, maybe consider hitting the subscribe button, hitting the like button, or commenting down below. It really helps the channel. I should have done this at the beginning. But thanks for the reminder. Yeah, if you didn't hit like already, it's not that far. It's not that hard. Put down your paintbrush just temporarily. You broke your Eidolon spear. I'm sorry. That happens to both of my I have two Eidolons and they both broke their spear. So I'm sorry to hear that. It was like a record scratch. If I could have played that. Yeah. Anything more to say, Carson?
Nope. I think that's it for me. Thank you everybody for watching.
Yeah.
We'll definitely see you twice next week. And sayonara.
Bye. Thanks again.